So welcome everybody from all over the world. I think we all know everybody at this point, right? I don't believe I've met Patricia Jaroon. Is it Jaron or
Hi, it's Jaren.
Jaron? Okay,
Hi.
Jaron. We haven't met Jaron. Where are you from?
I'm from Malaysia.
Malaysia. I saw you on the video. Very good. Okay. And Patricia or Patricia, where are you from?
South Africa. Oh no, sorry, that's Leon, right?
Oh, okay. Patricia is not, she's from Moldova and her
Moldova.
microphone is not working. So she is on chat with us. So you guys go ahead and open up your chat. So again, welcome everybody. For those of you guys who have not met me, I'm Dr. B. Dr. Taraz, I guess you want to lead the meeting and then I'll transition to me.
Well, it's probably, if you do it, I'll just say thank you so much, guys, for signing up for this project. We have a great opportunity here to make a real difference, not only in the lives of those kids that will be going through the program, but also in the world. And Xculture has hundreds of professors. We know how to manage university students. Turns out kids are a little bit different in a sense that not only because they're younger, but also they have a different set of priorities, different set of sort of, incentives in life. And we've encountered a few challenges that we are not quite sure how to resolve, and hopefully with your help we will. So one of them, for example, is retention. So they have a lot of interest, they start, and then some of them lose interest even before the program starts. And then some of them would be in teams, and then again, something maybe not going well, and they think, you know what, I'm gonna quit. So unlike university students who must finish the project because it's part of the course, for the kids, it's slightly different stuff. And so it gives us an opportunity to test some new methods. And so we will be talking about different things, like maybe doing some fun things before the program even starts to put them in the right mood, to make them intrinsically interested in the program. When the program starts and they are in teams, maybe we will provide a little bit more guidance or a little bit more coaching and tutoring, or maybe again, more fun things, so that people, not only do kind of studying, but also enjoying the program as, as a nice, interesting endeavor. And so hopefully with your help, we will be able to improve some of those numbers, the results. And so again, we have some ideas already, and Dr. B will be talking about them, but maybe if you have some suggestions for what can be done to make it more educational, more inspirational, more developmental for the kids. So it's working fine, but I think we can make it even better. So hopefully with your help we will.
So, and you guys know Yev, right? So Yev is our administrator. Anything quick to say, Yev?
No, we'll just step in when I'm needed. So,
okay. So,
again, just as an introduction, because he's kind of shy. So Yev, for, I don't know, 4 years we've been working together. So he's the guy who's been helping us figure out a way to inform kids about Xculture, kids or Academy participants about Xculture Academy. So he's the one who's been experimenting with the online ads and promotions. And again, one of the challenges we have is that there are many potential participants who could benefit from the program, but at the same time, they don't know about us. And informing them about us is not an easy task, because the product is a little bit different than what people normally see. And we can reach them sort of online. We can reach them on Facebook or Instagram or other media, but it does take time to explain what we are trying to do here, what we are offering. And so our own data show, and everybody else says, that when people see an ad online, usually they look at it for like 1.5 seconds maybe. And so if they like it, then they may click on it and read more. But if they don't like that 1.5 seconds, they just scroll down. And the problem is that some things you cannot explain in 1.5 seconds, like Xculture Kids, you can't. And so Yev has been experimenting with trying to find ways to either attract enough attention in that 1.5 seconds so that they read about it, or maybe do something else. But again, I'm doing that, making that introduction specifically for, for you to see maybe, some other methods to inform people about this opportunity. There are many others out there who might be benefiting from Xculture Kids or Xculture Academy. And yeah, we need to find a way just to tell them about the opportunity.
Okay, it looks like Yusuf is,
Yeah, just
Coming
send him
on
the
now.
link. Yeah, here he is.
yeah, okay, very good, Yusuf.
Hi, Yusuf. So he contacted me on my phone, but yeah, here he is. Mhm.
And he's from Egypt, right? So Yusuf, we've never met, but I think we have an exchange of email.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have a sidebar conversation about that, but you should reach out to me via email so we can schedule a Zoom meeting, okay?
Of course, yeah. I'm sorry, very sorry to be late.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so I gave everybody, so that everybody has the topic. This is the agenda. And then now Yusuf, you will have it too. I think it just came on. Okay, so what I'd like to talk about first is the welcome event. And Raphael, you gave us already a brief introduction of what you'd like to talk about with a welcome event. And then following after that, let's talk about the icebreakers that we had planned to do during the theory phase. And then Vas and I were talking about maybe doing something between now and the start of the theory phase, because we have like a 4-week window, right? Of course, we're gonna send out the videos, which all of you guys recorded a piece of. Vas, when is that gonna be ready?
The video, it's already ready, so I'm pretty sure. So I'll need to check with my kid, but it should be ready by now. He was working.
Okay.
Yeah, by the way, great introductions, everyone. So I really
Yeah.
liked it. We
Yeah,
have a nice, very colorful. I wish we had someone also from Australia, in which case we would have had the whole, like literally every continent. So, but it's diverse enough. So we have very good.
are you kidding me? Diverse enough. Do you see the people on this picture?
Well,
Are
at
you
some point,
insane?
you know, I still remember the times when you had 2 countries and it was international, and then, you know, somehow 5 becomes not international enough. And then at some point I'm thinking, well, we need to find someone in Antarctica because, you know, 6 continents is not enough. There are actually 7 on this planet. So I guess we become spoiled. So, but yeah, we have a very nice group here. So, and I really loved how everybody talked in a different, like in a slightly different way and style. And then the background was every time a little different. So that's a nice video.
Yeah, no, I'm very proud to be a part of a community like this. I think it's really great. Yeah, would you do me a favor and take a screenshot? I don't know how to do it on my computer. I have like the oldest computer in the world, you know, which is all going to change next year. But if you could take a picture of all of us, everybody smile. Yeah.
Did it work?
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, so let's talk first about this welcome event. So as you guys know, the welcome event is on August 22nd, which is exactly 4 weeks from now. Many of you guys attended the 10-year anniversary, the virtual 10-year anniversary, yes? Okay, so that was, I believe, 8 hours long. I think we started at like at 8:30 in the morning and we stopped at 4:30, and then we had a little bit of an after party. So it was like an all-day event, right? Took about 4 weeks to prepare that one. Of course, we had like some major guest speakers. So that one took a little bit of work. But I anticipate that we have kind of like a similar event that we're hosting on the 22nd. I don't know, is 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours a good number for you guys?
You're talking about the opening event for the Academy students?
Yeah, welcome event. I guess we're calling it a welcome event.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we want to go for such a long one. I would actually say that we should go for more like 1 hour. And if we feel adventurous, we may do a couple of those instead, because some would, you know, no matter what time we do, some people will not be able to attend. Maybe more than one, but probably not too long. I mean, I don't mind making, you know, a bigger event, but the question is, will the kids have the sort of stamina to stay in an event for so long? Like, especially the younger ones, or, you know, I don't know.
Well, so you remember what we did with Zoom, right? They could log on and off at will, and then they could like watch segments of it.
One long one, and with hope that people, some will be able to join at some time, others at another.
Yeah.
The bigger
So-
problem again with the lone one that we had, so it started about at 9 a.m. our time, so my time essentially. By that time it was 9 or even 10 p.m. in some Asian regions.
Mhm.
And so they couldn't really stay for more than an hour at the beginning because it was literally past midnight for them. And so I wonder if maybe instead we should make sort of the same thing twice, but shorter ones, maybe, sort of for the European, North American, and one maybe for Asian, Australia, those regions. I don't know. Here I'm speculating. I'm just saying that on the one hand, maybe there is no need to make something so big and grandiose for an opening. So I suppose we could, but it doesn't have to be very long. And at the same time, we might want to think about how we can capture and have something live for everybody. Again, all of those are fine because those who cannot attend can watch the recording.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
If Yeah.
I think this is the mentality, right? That we open with a bang
Mhm.
and to demonstrate value right from the beginning. I don't know if 4 hours might be too long, although I think that, if kids can't stay longer than an hour, they'll go back and forth and record it. Again, making sure that we have a very nice event page with the link to the videos, right? We'll record each segment, put it up on YouTube, and then attach it to the event page the way that we did for virtual. And then with the hopes that students will go back and forth to that page and really visit. So I'm very democratic. You guys are going to be doing the work. So I guess it's something that we can discuss and vote on, right?
Maybe let's think first about the program elements, what we want to do, and then see how much time that will fill. So
Okay.
not aim at a specific hours, but aim at something, because it's better to have whatever the time will be, things where people will like, rather than just keep them marooned there for whatever time we need. So if it happens that we have enough interesting events for the whole 4 hours, we can go for 4 hours. If it looks like we have enough to keep them super excited for 2, maybe 2 is enough.
I think two would be ideal. What do you guys, well, let's let Raphael talk first because he did send me a pretty good itinerary. It's very ambitious, but let's see, let's talk about your itinerary.
Yes, okay. Actually, at first I thought about 3 or 4 hours because I wanted to have two or three coaches to talk about their experience in next culture as a student and as a coach. And I thought about some potential speakers, such as some teenagers entrepreneurs that I found on YouTube, and James Cassep, a speaker of the 10th anniversary of X-Coach that I enjoyed a lot, and one more speaker from that, Leon. She's the Princess of Netherlands, and she owns a reserve in South Africa. So I thought that it would be nice to have her as a speaker too.
So you actually made arrangements with them to speak, or you think it would be nice to get them?
No, I just thought about. The only one that I think that we have a good chance is the Prince of Netherlands because Leon parents has some contact with her.
Well, if we can fill it with events like this, I mean, sure, we can go much bigger. We can invite more people than just the kids even. So yeah, I mean, of course.
Okay, so let's talk about, so how I planned the 10-year anniversary was basically the people that I knew I could get, right? So let's talk about who for sure can we get. So Leon, what is the percentage that you can get is it a prince or a princess?
Princess.
Princess.
Actually, we didn't contact any of these potential speakers because we didn't have the date. So we needed the date first. So after this meeting, we will try to contact them to maybe
Right.
to be sure that they will participate or not.
Okay. So Leon, let's go back to what is the likelihood that you can get the Princess of the Netherlands on this video? And first of all, how old is she?
She's in her 70s.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think the chance of me getting her to speak is at least 70%. If I can tell her like what we want her to speak about and that I'm sure she'll be very interested. So.
Okay. And what is her connection or what is her relevance to young entrepreneur kids?
Why I thought she would be good is firstly because she hasn't in South Africa, and she's had to deal with like all management issues and funding and all that. So I thought it could be interesting to share her story on that. And also she does a lot of like social work and public speaking in that. So I thought she could bring a nice balance of business and I don't know, just in general.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, you cut out. So what does she do actually in the beginning of your introduction to her?
Because she has the nature reserve, so she is like faced with funding issues and stuff like that, so she could give insight on that.
Okay. So when you're saying Princess of the Netherlands, is she related to Beatrice? The queen, the former queen, or the
Yes.
mother? Okay.
Well, I'll tell you guys, if you can really get people of that caliber, I mean, we can go for the whole day. The only question then will be, do we want to limit it just to the X-Culture kids? Because if we really can make such a big, grandiose event, maybe we should invite everyone and use it as a sort of all around the kids, but also make it almost a bigger audience, bigger, bigger events. So I don't know.
I forgot to. Oh, sorry. I forgot to mention one more potential speaker that Annette talked about. He's mentoring in Kenya, so it might be good for the kids too.
Who is he? I'm sorry, Annette, go
Annette,
ahead.
can you talk about?
Yeah, I thought he would be good for mentoring because he does, okay, his name is Alex. He does a lot of entrepreneurship. He's very knowledgeable when it comes to investment banking. So actually he's done a bit of TV shows. Okay, not TV shows, TV. He attends TV sessions where he's teaching people about investment banking and entrepreneurship and how to save and invest. So I thought maybe because we have this welcome event, it could be a good person to speak, because I thought the event is not going to be for only kids. Yeah, he can motivate kids because he's a parent, yes, and he's a very charming person. But then I thought because it's also going to have because our audience is also the parents for the kids, maybe it would be really, really good to have him around. I've not yet spoken to him because Raphael said we need to wait a little bit to confirm the dates and to confirm the nitty-gritty about the event. Mm-hmm. So I will talk to him and find out whether he has the time for us.
And what's the likelihood of you being able to get this person?
Okay, I'd like to speak to him all. Dr. B, what is the question? Is it to speak to him or for him to be able to come and talk to us?
Do you think that this is something that he would be interested in doing?
I think he would actually be excited to do it, yes, if his schedule allows.
You know him personally? You know him personally?
Yes, I do know him personally. He's my brother-in-law.
Ah, then we can get Alex. Okay, because I'm telling you, like, I've done these events before, and it's all about connections. You can't imagine how many people I've reached out to that's cold, right? and my success rate is probably 20%. And then for people that I know, and I'm lucky because I know a lot of people, my success rate with people I know is 80% or better. So it's all about networking and connections. And this is like what I'm trying to teach you guys as a professor, right? That you need to put yourself in situations where you are in close contact or in close proximity of people that will help elevate you and not necessarily like to support what you do, but that you are co-creating and helping each other become better in some way, like the way that you guys are to each other right here. So if you surround yourself with a network of people who have the capacity to be impactful, right? And then you integrate yourselves with them, what happens is that your value elevates and their value elevates to society. And what we do together becomes better. So that's what networking does for us. Okay, so we can get Alex. And where does Alex work?
He works with an investment bank in Kenya.
Okay. So who else do we have? So Raphael, you told me YouTube entrepreneurs. Do you know them personally?
No, not at all.
Okay. And I'm assuming that you want me to call Jamie Cassup and ask him if he could do this for us.
Yes.
That man is
Please.
going to start asking me for money. Okay. I believe he just left Google. He probably retired. I mean, you know, when you're the chief education officer at Google and you just want to stay home, it's probably by choice that you want to stay home. So I will reach out to him and see if he has what do you think, 30 minutes for us?
Yes. I think it will be enough.
Okay, so again, I believe he left Google, but as you guys know, his next adventure is to try to get 1 million YouTubers or 1 million subscribers to his YouTube channel. So there's motivation for him.
Yes.
Okay, let's see, who else?
And the other two potential speakers, that would be you and Vastu. Okay. I forgot to mention.
Okay, me and Boss, they're gonna get so much of us.
Yeah.
The entire thing.
Don't give me the microphone because you will be tired of me talking.
So, but Voss and I will probably do the introduction and the closing, just because, you know, we kind of are like the bookends of this event, right? So we'll bookend the entire activity. So we'll do a 15 in the beginning and probably a 15 in the end, and then fill in the in-between with 30-minute presentations. I don't know that, Annette, do you think 30 minutes is enough for Alex? And Leon, do you think 30 minutes is enough for the princess?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's enough.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3. I mean, we already have 2 hours.
Oh, Dr. B, Raphael has forgotten Leon, being that she's a product of the academy. We think she has a lot to share.
Yeah, Leon, you did a really good job. Everybody did a really good job. But again, as a 16-year-old, you're a very well-spoken, you're like our poster child, okay? So, you know, here's what I learned with Lao Tzu. Do you guys know who Lao Tzu is, the Chinese sage? He said,
Yes.
so you guys need to check him out. He's pretty cool. He says that don't go against your nature. If your nature tells you to do this, this is the way you go, because going against it takes more energy, right? So since you are our poster child, we're going to milk that. Does that make sense? Okay, so
A lot of it.
how long do you need, Leon?
I would say half an hour is fine as well.
Okay, so now we're at 2.5 hours. Dr. Taraz wanted to do, or Voss wanted to do a virtual meal.
That's a different one. That's something, guys, I want to do as a whole separate event, probably not part of that big event. Maybe even a couple of those, like a virtual potluck dinner. Do you know what potluck is? It may be an American word. Potluck, that's when everybody brings their own food. Like, for example, when I do some events at my house, usually I do it as a potluck. Everybody brings their favorite dish. So this way I don't have to cook for everyone. I just cook a little things, like I would provide maybe some drinks and maybe some barbecue, but then everybody brings their own dish. But the idea here was that it would be like a virtual multicultural potluck meal. And so everybody comes with their favorite food and shows everybody what they're eating. So I would show my, tea here, and I have here, I don't know, my daughter left some, whatever I have here. So I'll show maybe some Ukrainian food, or maybe some food that is typical in North Carolina. And you guys show what you have there in Singapore and in Ukraine and in Brazil. And so we basically have like a barbecue that we would have around, together face to face, but this time it's online. And maybe everybody says a few words, introduces themselves, maybe talks a little bit about their, food and culture. And so the idea is that it would be fully informal, just maybe kind of more like meet and greet, only online. And I thought even if only a few, a small portion of the participants join, it still could be a lot of fun. It still would provide us an opportunity to meet each other in this kind of fun way. And then also we can record the video, maybe share with others. So I think in that way, it sends the signal that, we are multicultural. It sends the signal that we are virtual and we do some things that normally are done face-to-face, we still do them online. It also provides an opportunity to meet and greet, in a fun way. So I thought it would be something that we can just do, and then big event, if we do have a break and we want to still do it, maybe we can have like a lunch break, again, with this sort of virtual dinner type of style. So I suppose one does not, exclude the other, but I thought it would be also nice to have one like a separate event, because it may take an hour or maybe even longer. So yeah, that's the idea.
So is that something, do you think, Voss, we can do during the theory phase, maybe towards the end of the theory phase where we...
Well, the reason, again, I think we should do it now is because now we have several weeks when they're waiting. And so we need to do something before, like we need to do something now. The idea is that we have some people who have been waiting already for a few months. We have some who have applied some weeks ago. And so we know that many of them will not even show up for the beginning of the event. I mean, for the beginning of the program. Like the big event that you're planning, some people will simply not be there. We don't know why that happens, but we know that many people apply and then never even show up. They lose interest, maybe who knows. And so by offering something as we are waiting, that will be a sort of a reminder to them that we know, remember about them, that we are preparing. For them, it's a way to refresh their memory with us, and maybe importantly, sort of have this first impression in a fun way where, it is kind of online, global, virtual, international, but also fun. And so especially it could be, interesting for the younger kids, perhaps, where they, how often did we do it? But I guess this would be interesting for adults. So the thing is that we need to do, in my opinion, at least one or two things in the next 4 weeks before we have this big event and opening of the program. And so what should we do during this time? We cannot do really something busy and kind of educational, because it's still summer, people are still on the break, people don't want to do anything, difficult and heavy. And here it could be something very easy and informal to organize. We just send an invitation, show up, and basically have breakfast. Like in our case, I would have breakfast and Lelani would have breakfast. I don't know, Sayaka probably would have dinner, Rafael would still have breakfast, Iyel probably would have lunch. And, I'm kind of as an example. And so if a few dozen people show up, great, or whatever number shows up. So the point is that it's something that is very easy to organize. We don't really have to prepare anything other than meals. And at the same time, it could be some nice way to keep people sort of engaged while they're waiting. And then obviously there would be a big opening ceremony that you're planning. And then there would be a theory phase during which we may still do some fun things, maybe, even on a regular basis, maybe another dinner or maybe some sort of other fun session, maybe some team building as we discussed and things like that. And so, and then once the practical phase starts, I guess we have enough going on then. Okay. So I don't know, I'm fine and flexible. I'm just trying to find something for the next 4 weeks before the program starts and people are still waiting. And this event, I thought it could even be a way to sort of promote the program while we're still waiting for the applications. So if we did it, let's say next weekend, for example, maybe even the recording of the event, or maybe some snapshots of the event, or maybe some sections of the event, you know, like maybe some most fun introductions, can be even used for some form of advertisement. At the very least, as some way of engagement for those who did not attend live, it can be kind of turned into a nice, like a 3-minute promo video with the words, hey guys, you know, we know not everyone was able to join us, but we had this fun event. Here is, like, you know, highlights. And then maybe, I don't know, if it looks fun, we can put it on our webpage, you know, share it through our social media channels. And then maybe some of the people look and then say, they do really fun things. Maybe I should enroll in this program. So if we do it early enough, we can even use it still as a recruitment sort of, you know, material. So that's the logic.
Okay, so let me go back to the schedule for the welcome event, and then we'll talk about.
Yeah, so that's, I'd say we keep it separate, other than if the welcome event does go for more than 2 hours, we probably will want to take a break at some point. And if we
Well,
take,
I think right now we have a good 3 hours.
yeah. And if so, we probably will want to have like a 30-minute break at some point. And
Right.
if we have the break, maybe we should
Right.
invite the participants to have like a, you know, like a virtual break with food where people will, like, what do you normally have for a quick snack? Okay, I would have Ukrainian hrin, right? I don't even know why I have it here. And then somebody else will have whatever else. So we may turn that break into also some educational culture exchange and event.
Right. Raphael, did you have something to add?
I want to add one thing else. Between the speakers, I thought to do some interactions for the audience. So I would like to add some questionnaire on Kahoot. I don't know if you know.
No.
I know we can be
No.
in Kahoot. I know the expression, but what is Kahoot?
It's a website that we can add questions and send to the audience. Let me share my screen. Wait a minute. Can I have the power to share, please?
I need you.
Let me
that
see.
for-
Participants.
I still remember the time when sharing screen was allowed for everyone, and then you know, the Zoom.
I think Kahoot, I was taking quizzes through it in the school. I think
What?
it is quizzes. I was
Did it work?
quizzes
Not-
through Kahoot. I think
Raphael, did it work?
It seems like he's still not showing up as co-host. So you go to
Well,
participant.
he has two, so
Maybe it's
Yes, I can now.
okay.
Tell me whenever you can see.
you
Yeah,
can-
we
Yeah,
can.
we can say it.
Okay. I thought to to make some questions regarding business and regarding cultural difference. So Annette and Sayaka helped me to create, I think, about 10 or 15 questions,
Mhm.
but I just made just 5 examples. So as you can see, we add the question and send to the audience. We can make an example right here. Let me try.
It's cool. That's like,
AAHOOT, huh?
that's like iClicker, just all fully online. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
we need to enter on this website. We can do it from our phone or from the notebook.
Mhm.
So let me wait.
I already
Here.
feel challenged.
Can you try to enter this on this website? It's Kahoot.
So we
It.
need to do that.
Yeah.
So we
Okay,
go to-
so Raphael, while you're doing this, I already have anxiety. Okay, so, and let me tell you why. When we
Okay.
do virtual conferences, when we start loading a lot of different applications while we're still doing the virtual, it starts slowing down things, and then it starts kicking us out of certain things. And
Sure,
you know,
sure.
I don't know that that's really a smart thing to do, especially with everybody from all over the world with, you know, access to internet, you know? That's the
Okay.
other thing.
Well, I'm the wild cat, or whatever the, wise cat.
Why, yeah, you are a wise cat.
Yeah, the challenges, Rafael said, was actually much easier than I thought. Works very well. The only problem is if people are using the phone, which many will be from the phone, all of a sudden splitting screen becomes, you know, like switching between the screens becomes a challenge. So, but it's a good idea overall. Now, don't forget that we can do the same thing in Zoom itself. So we can preload questions in Zoom. And so we can have the same sort of, it will not be so colorful, but we can still have the same, you know, quiz online in Zoom with display of the answers. And, you know, so it will not be, you know, kind of game environment, but it still will be the same content.
Mhm. But this is a great activity for just by itself for like an icebreaker.
Yeah, that's a very good idea for meet and greet and icebreakers.
Yeah, an independent icebreaker, right?
Uh-huh.
Not the event itself.
So
Okay, okay.
can you show us one question? Can you go like with one? I'm just curious.
Yes. One thing that I enjoy about Kahoot is that we have points when the people get the right answer. So there is a ranking
Mhm.
for the all the participants.
So it's like a game. It's really like a game, not just a answer the question. but-
Yes.
Okay,
Does it
get
have to
ready.
be-
All right. So Wise Cat is going to win this game. So question one, ready? The acronym SWOT stands for I cannot answer. Okay. So
It's the yellow one, Bob.
yeah. Boom. Did I win?
Question, Rafael.
No.
Is this synchronous or asynchronous?
Thumbs up.
So I got the answer correctly. So what does it mean?
You got it wrong.
No, I got it right. I got green.
You got it wrong. It's green. I told you to do yellow.
That's what I chose. No, I chose green. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Wise Cat. I told you I'm gonna. Come on. Just because somebody gives me the wrong answer, I'm not gonna follow. I know the correct answer. Because that was not the opportunities, but what was the answer? So all right. So the most important communication skill is. Well, we know the answer, so but that's fine. So that's a politically correct answer.
Yeah.
So that's the
I got it
main
right?
example.
Right.
I'm still in the lead then, right?
Rafael, is it free to download Kahoot?
What?
Is it free to download Kahoot?
Yes, we just need to enter on the website.
Okay. And is it asynchronous or synchronous? Like, do people have to be on to answer the question, or can you send it to them and then they answer it whenever they feel like it?
No, they can't. They need to enter.
Ah, okay. So that's another icebreaker that we can plan on.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let me finish up the segment on icebreaker. I'm sorry, on a welcome event. What time do we want to start and finish? Let's go ahead and start with, right now I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 hours planned. So Vas, I think it's going to be a 3 to 4 hour event.
Well, yeah, if we have really good events, why not? The only thing is, I would say it sounds like we are planning something much bigger than just a little opening sort of orientation for the kids. So in which case, maybe we can invite not only the X-Culture kids, but also university students scheduled to participate this semester, professors, maybe even make it open for everyone. I mean,
yeah, but Vas, if all 500 of our kids go onto Zoom and log in, right? And
well, let's see first how many of them will, first how many registrations we have by then.
Right.
We'll reach a few thousand. Second, what percentage of them will be available? And you're right, if it looks like we're going to have hundreds, maybe we should stick with that group only.
And I think what we need to do is make it available live on Facebook channel
on
for
Facebook
everybody
and-
else.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we can do the live streaming. That's true.
Okay, so give me a time, start to finish, because I have to give everybody like marching orders to invite their people.
The important thing again is we need to look at the geography, but it seems like starting at about 9 a.m. our time is the best time, because if we have someone in the West Coast, or, on the West Coast, like California, that part of the world, so for them that would be 6 a.m. And so if we
Okay.
have anyone like going to Hawaii, that's way too. But let's say we have some in the Central Time and California, so that would be a 7, 8, 9, right? And then East Coast, the USA. Brazil, you guys are what, hour ahead of us? So you are almost noon now, right, Rafael? Yeah, so Brazil is a little further east, so everybody else is fine then. And the only problem is then, so we have Sayaka, you're 12 hours ahead of us, right? It's almost midnight for you. So basically, if we go for 2 hours, then Singapore.
That's all right. If it's on
Right,
Saturday, then I don't mind. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
for you, I have no doubt, but there will be some kids from, let's say, Japan, Singapore, maybe Australia, for whom it may be literally past bedtime. So I guess 9 a.m. is the only time we can go, with the hope that some people will stay, up until midnight. And then if we have, if we do it on a Saturday, this way, Sunday, hopefully they don't have to wake up, so people will be more available. The risk obviously is that here in this part of the world, nobody wants to wake up at 6 a.m. on Saturday, but there is really no other way. The catch-22. So, but yeah, it seems like it would be Saturday, 9
Saturday,
a.m.
August 22nd, 9 a.m. to 1
Now,
p.m.
the question is, do we want to do the
Eastern Time.
August 22nd or maybe go for the next one? It will be 29th, right? And the reason I'm asking here is, but the ex-culture kids, they start on the 24th. Yeah, it would have to be 22nd then, yeah. Yeah, I forgot because we moved the university program to the 31st. So in this case, yeah.
Okay.
Can I suggest something?
Yes.
Is it maybe better to keep it a bit shorter, because if they're new students, they might find it a bit overwhelming if it's, say, a 4-hour program, where, say, for us who are in it, we know what it's about, and it's better. Rather, for them, they might not actually understand it or fully grasp
That is also my concern.
like
As
the
I said,
full
we don't
4 hours, and they might find it a bit overwhelming.
Yeah. Same concern here. I'm a little worried that they may find that it's like, whoa, that's so much work. And, they would think that they must stay here for the whole event. I wonder if we may, or we would have to be very, very specific saying that it's optional and attend only for as long as you can. Because, for some of them, it may look like a whole school day and they would be like, oh, what's fun in this? So I don't know, like give them itinerary and say, choose the events you want to attend. You're welcome to stay for the whole thing. So I don't know, but we have to be careful here about not sending the signal that you must sit for 4 hours like this and, watch the whole thing. So.
Okay, so the alternative that we can do is just have one keynote speaker, right? So we either
Yeah.
get the Princess of the Netherlands or Jamie Cassip, for example. And then Annette, we'll save your brother-in-law for a future performance, right?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. And then so if we can get one keynote speaker, and then Boss, you and I will bookend that by setting the expectation and closing it, right? And then maybe we can do a Kahoot activity in between for 15 minutes. And then that's active, right? And then Leonie, you can talk in the beginning. And that would be the simplest thing, right? So it would be a welcome with Voss and me. And then
on this welcome topic with you and Vaz, you'll be talking about the program.
yes.
Okay.
And maybe an introduction of all of you guys and Yev, right? Leonie, our poster child. You might have to cut that back now. And then our keynote. Okay, and then play a Kahoot game. and then we close.
Or we can do the following. We may not need to decide right now. Let's see which of the speakers we could get.
Mhm.
Perhaps maybe even keep it intentionally open, saying that we have, because we probably want to have several of these events. One, we want to have one opening, and then we probably want to do at least a few during the throughout the program. There were semesters when I tried to do one every single week, and honestly, it was a little hard. Last semester, we did one for the opening, one between the theory and practice, and one at the end. So there were 3 or maybe 4 total. But maybe we can then, you know, if we have more more speakers than needed, we can then see which ones go for the opening and which ones go, for example, between the theory and practice. If we don't get enough, maybe there will be really not much to choose from. In that case, I guess it's short. And if we get more than needed, then we will, you know, figure out how to distribute them.
We can spread the wealth, right? We'll spread it out.
Yeah, so what I mean is that at this time when we approach them, you know, if we say we plan 2 events, one opening on the 22nd and maybe another one, I think it would be something like October 1st or something like that. Would you be available for both or either? We are still planning, and then see what they say. If they say I'm not available at all or available only for one, then we will, you know, have a little bit more information and then decide how we want to go about it.
Okay.
We have younger coaches today too. In Yusuf, Jaron, and Patricia. Do you guys have any additional points?
About?
Because this kind of event, it might be interest to youngers like you. So that's why I'm asking if you have some ideas.
Not currently, but if you'll talk about the time, or maybe it will be long, as we said, I really don't see that students will see it hard to attend the whole conference, but just we'll need to attract them. We'll have performers or anything to entertain them besides the speakers or these things.
You know what? So let's go ahead and table the rest of this conversation because we're losing time, and I think we need to really think about it first. If we want to taper it down to 2 hours, what I see is, again, a 15-minute welcome with me and Boss introducing the program, a 30-minute introduction of all of you guys, what you feel about the program. Then Leonie, of your experience, 15 minutes, we'll cut you down to 15 minutes. 30 minutes for our keynote. Active learning, Raphael, 15 minutes with Kahoot, and then Boss, you and I will close it. And that will be 2 hours. I have a feeling that might be better because it will move faster, it's more active, and their attention span will be needed. It's only a 15-minute segment with a keynote speaker at 30 minutes. That's the only lengthy time that they will need to focus long, right? So I'm moving in the direction of, I think, a welcome event of this caliber might be better. And then we probably want to like save some of our bigger or some of our other spokespeople, whether it's somebody from YouTube about entrepreneurship or Jamie in motivating people, and Alex on how to save. Annette, I think that's really a great thing to teach students today or young people today, that you have time value in the future. You need to save your money now so that you can grow old and become a millionaire, right? That's a no-brainer.
Extremely important. As I said, you know, we want to have regular live meetings with the students. And as I said, ideally we want to have one every week. In the past, when I was the only person managing that, it was a little hard for me to do it every week, although in some semester I still did it. Now that we have a larger team, we can go back to the weekly sort of, you know, review webinars. And so, and each time when I did this to make it sort of more interesting for the students, but also easier for me, so I don't have to talk each time, I was always inviting guest speakers. And usually I would have professors, sometimes they would talk about a specific international business topic. Sometimes they would talk about something general, like related to maybe going to college and things like that. But so maybe we should do the same thing this semester. I'm not sure if we want to do it every single week or maybe every other week. But in any case, we still need to do something regularly. And we still want to have some guest speakers. So therefore, I would say let's go for after all of those guest speakers, and we'll need more because there will be several of those meetings, and just do them in the weekly, you know, like 30-minute guest speaker, 30-minute review of this, what's happening, maybe questions, maybe, you know, some sort of, you know, office hours kind of stuff.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, so
can we?
otherwise they will not be, you know, they will not have that constant contact. So we want to provide that anyway.
So here, so Dr. B is a Democratic leader, right? So can we just respond whether or not you vote for 2 hours or 4 hours, and just put that in the chat again, whether you want to do a 2 hour or 4 hour. Okay. And then I want to move on to the next topic because we're going to run out of time. So the next topic that I want to talk about is the icebreakers. And I think we're going to have to stop there. Yeah, the icebreakers, because we've already actually talked about the virtual dinner. So we need to schedule when that will be. Voss, you are interested in doing that pre-theory phase, right?
Well, let me put it this way. It's not really that I'm interested. I think we need to do at least one event before the big event. So at least one thing in the next 4 weeks, maybe even 2 if we have the energy and the, you know, people who can help. Then we will have the opening event. We need that. Then once the project starts, so weekly, once we have the theory and practice, ideally we want to have a quick meeting every weekend. Usually Saturdays seem to work best. I did a lot of doodles and, you know, over time it just emerged as the best time. But as I said, those weekly events, they were a combination of a guest speaker plus a review of what's happening this week, what do they need to work on, maybe some pointers at how to complete it, you know, don't forget about the test, or don't forget about this deliverable that you as a team have to do. And then usually we would also have some time for kind of Q&A. So you guys, you know, this is your opportunity to ask your questions, and there would be all kinds of questions. Sometimes it would be something very, you know, like technical. So where do I submit my work, or, you know, how do I do this? Sometimes it would be something more general, like we have one difficult team member, this is the situation, what do we do? And so we have a quick discussion, and usually we aim for exactly 1 hour, and it works fine. Sometimes we stay a little bit longer. And so if we have enough people, from what I see we have, and if not every one of us has to be there every week, maybe we can actually have it every week so that students feel that they have this, you know, personal contact.
The community, their community.
So maybe 1 week it will be you, Leilani, who will lead it, and then whoever shows up, shows up. Maybe another week it will be only Raphael. And maybe 1 week it will be actually only, for example, I don't know, Leona and, for example, Annette. And so this way, it doesn't mean that all of us have to then work for the whole semester every single weekend. But if each of us does 1 or 2 of those meetings, then we will have filled at the time. And again, sometimes we have close to 100 people in those meetings. Sometimes it would be only like 25 people. And, you know, it's fine. Recording is then shared with everybody else. But there are always some people, in fact, I recognize some of the coaches here when they were in the program, like literally some people are very, very diligent, like show up every week, have a lot of questions, have a lot of comments. Others show up only when they have questions, but, you know, it doesn't feel like an online, you know, faceless course where you just buy a book and you read it. It is a community. There are teachers, there are guest speakers. You get much more than just simply being in a team. So,
and this gives you guys so much experience, right? And it will be recorded. We're going to post it all on YouTube. And that really gives a lot of merit to your credibility and your credentials. So, and of course, we're going to write you guys fabulous recommendation letters for your universities and master's and PhD programs. So
experience also, you'll need to do it for your business, you know, whenever you will start, you know, it is something that you will always need to learn how to speak in front of an audience, how to organize these events. And as I said, I remember still when I was beginning them, you know, beginning with, you know, organizing these events, it's difficult. Sometimes you're nervous. Sometimes you don't know what to do. Sometimes you don't know what can go wrong. But once you've done, you know, enough of them, you become much more comfortable, and it gives you a huge advantage over sort of people in your cohort. Because how many people at your age, I don't know, we have here seems like, you know, some late teens and maybe some 20s. I mean, most people at your age, they don't do these things. So you'll have that, you know, on your resume, and more importantly, you have it, you know, in your sort of skill.
Well, yeah, this is active learning. You guys are learning how to become leaders and managers and, you know, professionals in your own field, right? Active learning. So we're running out of time. Let's talk about the active learning portion of Academy. So again, we have 4 weeks until our 2-hour welcome event, August 22nd, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this week coming up, we're going to release the video. So the video, I think, is enough, boss, for this coming week, that they'll have, you know, that we're now starting to thread them, right? So I don't think that next weekend would be ideal for the virtual dinner, but how about the following week?
Whenever. The only other thing I would say with the video, so we already have what, like 500 people applied, but there will be hopefully more and more every day. And so maybe that video will be released now to those who applied, but then we need to sort of almost automate it in some way that when new people apply, they get it shortly after. I'm not sure if it will be done manually or automatically, but hopefully we'll have many more applications in the coming weeks. As always, usually there are more towards the deadline.
Right.
So,
So I think the first active learning event that we need to focus on is August 8th, right? So now do we want to do the virtual dinner on August 8th, or do we want to do something like the Kahoot? Or
actually, Kahoot could be even a separate event. So, or
yeah,
maybe it could
no,
be
we
part
want
of
to do different ones.
Mm-hmm.
So which one do you guys want to do on August 8th? Do you guys want to think about it? Because I'm already over time for our schedule. I've already kind of like, you know, I want to respect your time. So I think that we have enough information to really start the event, right? The welcome event. The next thing we need to focus on then is when are we, or what are we going to do for our first virtual icebreaker. Let's call it that, a virtual icebreaker. So is a virtual dinner though, a little bit like a lot in the beginning? Should we do something more like a Kahoot icebreaker, like on the 8th?
What if there's like 2 separate groups? So there's, say, some senior coaches or any of us, and then there's, say, 3 of us for each group, and then we can split up the students. So then it can be like a balance, because it might be, say we do the virtual dinner and there's 500 students, we won't be able to go through all of them.
Yeah.
Well, what we can do with that is breakout rooms, Leo.
Okay, yeah.
We'll divide it into, like if people register, right? We'll send out invitations to everybody. If people register, we can even do it in time zones. And what's nice about doing it in time zones is, like, Sayaka is in Asia, you know? Maybe we'll have, if it's so big, maybe we'll have her do a virtual dinner with the people in Asia. And then like that, right?
Well,
I mean,
importantly, we don't want to limit it to, you know, to the part of the world, because as always, the number of participants will be limited. So as always, one of the problems with these events is, you know, that not many people show up. Some have a legitimate problem. Maybe they have school, or maybe they have some family travel, or who knows what. Some maybe forget. But the important thing is that if we do several of those, hopefully, you know, I will be able to do it today. Somebody else will be able to join with the next one. So therefore, let's do it when we can do it, and then see who shows up. Every time, I bet there will be someone in Asia who just has a sleepless night and it's 1 a.m., but he still wants to join. And then sometimes there will be someone from California who, even though it's 6 a.m. for that time zone, but wanted to attend so much that woke up at that time. Like, you remember, I think there were several of you 2 years ago, we had those 2 sisters from California. And we had, at that time, we had every single week, I had that, you know, seminar at 9 a.m. my time, so 6 a.m. for their time. And every Saturday they would be there, you know, like in a blanket and in pajamas, like, you know, like with eyes like this, like, no, but I'm watching. I woke up like every time. So we have people like that sometimes. So I think, you know, let's just organize them and see who shows up. You know.
Okay. So can we have? Are you guys available for another meeting next Saturday?
Okay.
So what I would like to do is table everything, because we're already over time, right? Table everything for now with our icebreakers. But I want you guys to think about what you'd like to come to the table with on next Saturday, right? Here's what I came up with. And I don't think Voss is a fan, but I'm going to share with you anyway. So I think one of the things, and Yeb would have to help me with this, one of the things that I loved about having a pen pal when I was a child is writing somebody from faraway places. So dividing our current population into matching people, right? And then sending them emails that this is your pen pal, write them a letter. So that was one of the things that I thought about.
Why did you decide I wouldn't like it?
Because you never commented on it, so
I
I just took
but,
that as
growing up, I had a pen pal, Vítězslav Dohnal, in Czech Republic, in the city of Brno, and we sent letters back and forth. Never met. I was trying to find him on the internet now, maybe, you know, but I cannot.
You see how nice that is? Like,
well, there are thousands of people with that name, so unfortunately, I don't know which one.
I even remember the name of my pen pal when I was 8 years old. Her name was Lori.
Yeah.
I
wanted to impress my pen pal. I bought him a pack of chewing gum and wanted to send it to him, and they sent it back to me. I don't know, the Soviet Union didn't allow those kinds of shipments, and I was so disappointed. So I thought he would like it. So. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's one of the things, is having a pen pal. The second thing that I thought about is, have you guys ever seen? Oh my God. Dollar Street. Do you guys know Dollar Street? So here, let me put it in your chat. It's called Dollar Street, right? If you go on Dollar Street, I think YouTube, Bill Gates introduces Dollar Street. And what he does is he has Dollar Street has a website where you can compare like your front door or your dinner or a view from your street or your backyard or your playground, right? And so I thought that they could just, like in Dollar Street, exchange pictures of their front doors, things like that. So that's another activity.
What happened in those weekly meetings that we had for the X-Culture kids that I've been doing over the last few semesters, almost every weekend, one of the kids would be somewhere in school or on the street and show to everybody in live, you know, format how their schools look like or how they're whatever. And it was kind of funny to see, like, there was this Ajasan Raj, like one kid from India. So very smart kid, but the family must be super rich, because sometimes he would join us from a family limo, and then, you know, the limo takes him somewhere to school. Then he says, oh yeah, we have the Saturday event in school, and so this is my car, and there's like a car, like, you know, like really like royal car. And then he shows his campus, and the campus looks like, you know, like with the palm trees and like manicured lawns, like everything so beautiful, and everybody like, whoa. And then one weekend, my kids decided to take, you know, to show their own school. So we went to our school, and, you know, like American schools, we have like some trailers, you know, like the expansion stuff. And everybody saw like, where's the school? And they said, no, this is the school. It's one of the best in the city. And everybody, yeah, it looks like some refugee camp. So, yeah.
So that's what I mean is, so Dollar Street does a comparison of what you have in different countries. So that's another activity. Another activity that I had was 30 minutes in the life, right? So maybe, so if they choose to meet somebody else, like they can spend 30 minutes playing soccer virtually with them. Like, this is us playing soccer, right? And they're watching each other 30 minutes. Or sitting down for, I guess it's hard for you to play soccer and watch somebody else, but maybe having dinner and then having a virtual dinner with each other's family, something like that. So those were some of my ideas. So
you're talking about asynchronous, you're not talking about live stream, you're talking
about 30 minutes synchronous activities. So you're either sitting down for dinner, or you're going for a walk together, or again, this is past, you know, you getting to know your pen pal, for example. So what I would like to do is create like a network. And what I was teaching you earlier, that, you know, it's never too early for you to build a network. Like, for example, all of you guys, if you become good friends, you will be great friends for life, right? One of my great friends is, she and I, when I was a soldier in Germany, I was also a fitness instructor, and I taught her aerobics while she was going to university, right? And we found each other 20 years later. And today she is the director of the banking program at the Douala Hochschule in Baden-Württemberg in Germany. And I didn't even know. Like I knew she was going to school. So when I got my PhD, I Googled her, and she had graduated with her PhD from the University of Heidelberg. And I still couldn't reach her. So I emailed her professor, her dissertation chair, who put us together. And today we're really great friends, you know, but we knew each other while I was a soldier and she was a student at the university. So what I'm saying is, like, it's never too early for you to start building your network. And this is an opportunity for our students to create those opportunities. Yeah. So think about what other activities we can talk about on next Saturday. What do you think? Yeah. And then we'll table the rest of, if you guys can hold on just a second. Let me just, my next meeting, I just have to delay it. Okay. So the third thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is what kind of training you would like to have. In addition to Dr. Taraz's wife, his wife is, Ola is an expert in childhood education, right? But what other activities would you guys like me to try to get for you throughout the semester? So that's another thing that I'd like to discuss next Saturday. Yeah? Okay, marching orders. Leonie, if you could reach out to the princess, that would be amazing, and see if she can do August 22nd, 30 minutes. And then if,
what can I ask her to sort of speak about? What would you prefer?
you know, children love animals. And
Well,
preserve.
but I would say there is a very good chance that she's done thousands of those speeches, and she may already have a topic in mind that she knows works for younger teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you just said that the audience will be highly motivated, basically teenagers. And so maybe talk about something about education, maybe talk something about, you know, importance of saving the world, maybe something about the environment. Sort of let her choose, because I suspect she already has a rehearsed speech that she probably has given many times. So we don't want to lock her into a topic, just as long as she thinks that it would be interesting for the teenagers.
For teenagers, yeah. Yeah, I love the idea that she's very involved in conservation and in nature. So that's probably the direction that we need to go. And then again, remember what our core value is here at X Culture. It's right to make a sustainable world that's, you know, emotionally and culturally intelligent, right? And the fact that she is a princess of the Netherlands living in South Africa is very interesting. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and if she doesn't work, so Leonie, message me right away if she confirms, but if she doesn't work, then I'll go and get Jamie Cassett for us. Okay, but I think I'm gonna have to offer him money, because this will be the third time that I ask him to do something for me for free. Anything else, you guys? Okay, next meeting is next Saturday, please. Same time, same place. I'll send you an invitation by Thursday or Friday, okay?
And I'll say that I'm excited to see such a nice team. I mean, it's been, what, 4 or 5 years we've been trying to do it with basically me, and Yev has been helping on the some administrative side. And it's working fine. In the end, people were very happy. But it was, one, very hard, and second, I mean, with other things going on in our lives, you know, other responsibilities, I know we could have not done it, you know, well enough. Now that we have such a nice team, Dr. B, obviously with her experience, but also you guys, I mean, you're not average teenagers for sure. So I think we will have a really, really, you know, like a much better program this semester than whatever we've had in the past. So let's see how much, you know, how far we can push it, but I'm very excited. So it almost seems like it's now becoming qualitatively different.
Right. So for me, my goal for this semester, and this is our pilot year with me being onboarded, right, is the execution. I want to make sure that we're executing all of these activities with, you know, I want to do it. I don't want to say perfection, but really of high quality and very, very authentic and impactful. And I want to make sure that we're all enjoying it while we're doing it, because once this becomes work, we're not going to stick around to do it, right? Because who wants to do work for free and suffer? No, we only do that when we're enjoying ourselves. Okay? Okay, you guys. Peace and love. See you next Saturday.
Thank you.
Yusuf-
Bye
Bye,
bye.
thank
See
you.
you.
See ya.
Wait, boss, you got something else?
No, yeah, Yusuf, you needed to talk to us as well, right?
Yeah.
About the school. Do you want to stay here? Leilani, you have another meeting, you said?
No, I delayed it.
So Yusuf is the guy, just like Sushant from India. Yusuf has a group of people in
Okay.
Egypt.
So I guess, boss and I and Yusuf will stay, and everybody else have a great weekend. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy. I'm gonna end recording now.
Mhm.